Something unusual happened in Canada today, something that felt bigger than politics. Prime Minister Mark Carney and Ontario Premier Doug Ford, two leaders who rarely see eye to eye, stood side by side, shoulder to shoulder, sending one unmistakable message: Canada will no longer take orders from Washington. This wasn't another routine announcement. It felt like a turning point, a show of unity and quiet defiance. For years, Donald Trump's America has turned up the pressure, from tariffs on Canadian goods to open threats against the auto industry. But today, Carney and Ford made it clear: Canada is done playing defense. The project they unveiled isn't just about steel, roads, or infrastructure. It's about identity, about a country deciding to write its own future. And from the very first moment of that press conference, you could sense it in the air. The tension, the pride, the feeling that something in Canada had just changed.
Last night, I was at the University of Ottawa, and I highlighted more of our new government's plan to build Canada strong, to transform our economy from one that has become too reliant on the United States to one that's stronger and more resilient, to take control of our future as Canadians. Because the world is increasingly dangerous and divided, and new technologies have brought distant threats to our door. And the trade war is causing massive economic uncertainty that is holding back investment and is costing jobs, including jobs here in Ontario. What we're experiencing is not a transition, it's a rupture. It's a sharp change in a very short period of time.
And then came Doug Ford, a man famous for his blunt words and no-nonsense attitude. But today that bluntness turned into something sharper: brilliance with purpose. Standing before the cameras, Ford's tone carried both frustration and fire. He said he's done watching Canada be treated like an afterthought, a convenient partner only when it suits Washington. He reminded everyone of a truth too often forgotten: it's Canadian energy that keeps America running. Our oil, our gas, our power. They flow south every day, lighting up U.S. cities and fueling their industries. And then came the line that silenced the room before shaking it: you can't bully the hand that keeps your country running. For a moment, no one moved. Then the crowd erupted. Because in that instant, Doug Ford wasn't just Ontario's premier. He was the voice of a nation tired of being underestimated. A man standing not beside Carney the politician, but beside Carney the Canadian. Together, they weren't making a statement. They were drawing a line.
You're all absolute champions who keep the lights on in homes across Ontario, as well as 1.5 million homes south of the border. I always say we keep lights on in New York and Michigan and up in Minnesota. And I always say, let's take care of our own first, but we're going to have enough energy, not just to send around the world with SMRs, but large-scale nuclear. Send it down south. There's nowhere else I'd want to send it to than our closest friend and ally.
The timing couldn't have been more critical. Just days earlier, Trump's Commerce Secretary hinted that U.S. manufacturing might shift south, a move that would strike at the heart of Ontario's auto industry. But Ford and Carney didn't flinch. They faced it head-on. Ford declared he's had enough of America's economic intimidation. He said what Canadians have long wanted to hear: that their workers and industries will no longer be held hostage by U.S. politics. And Carney stood right beside him, promising that Canada won't respond with talk but with action. Because when a nation builds its own energy, supply chains, and technology, it builds something no one can take away: independence.
Friends, this is a critical moment for our province and our country. President Trump is taking direct aim at Canada's economy, workers, and businesses. It's never been more important for us all to pull together to protect Ontario and protect Canada by building a more competitive, resilient, and self-reliant economy that can keep workers on the job no matter what. We're here today at Darlington Nuclear Generating Station, which has been safely and reliably powering Ontario's economy for more than 35 years. Along with the Pickering and Bruce stations, Darlington has made Ontario a global leader, producing safe, reliable, clean, and affordable nuclear energy. And with energy demand in Ontario expected to increase dramatically, we're building on that success. It shows what we can accomplish when Canadians work together across provinces and across party lines. I've always said I don't give two hoots what color of stripe people come from, as long as they work together and collaborate together. And I couldn't ask for a better champion than the person right behind me. He feels the same way. And we're going to do powerful things together and give people hope and show them the future of a strong economy. Because when Canadians work together, we can stand up to anything and anyone, including President Trump.
Carney then laid out his vision for what comes next. A bold new budget designed to supercharge domestic investment and rebuild national strength. He spoke of backing Canadian workers, expanding clean energy, and empowering local industries to stand tall on the global stage. Not to seek anyone's approval, but to finally act on the belief that Canada's potential is its own to define. This, Carney said, is how we build a Canada no foreign president can undermine. It wasn't about isolation, it was about independence, and between every line he spoke, the real message became clear. This wasn't just a policy launch. It was a shift in mindset, a quiet revolution where Canada stops asking for permission and starts setting the tone.
It means this has to be an ambitious, bold budget that's focused on building this economy. And we will do everything that it takes in order to do that. From reducing red tape to making generational investments that crowd in hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars of private investment here in Ontario and across Canada, including investment, as the Premier mentioned, I'm sure, from the pension funds of Canada, but more broadly. While we do that, we also need to get a control of federal spending. We will eliminate duplication. We'll eliminate waste. We will do more with less. So we're going to take some tough and we'll take some difficult decisions. We'll spend less, we'll invest more. We welcome good ideas from the opposition parties. But above all, and when they come, we will incorporate them in the budget. We are just getting started. To be clear, these are major, major projects, but this is just the start of the ambition. And I think Canadians can feel confident that this country, this province has more than enough opportunity and ambition and firepower to give ourselves far more than the Americans are taking away, regardless of what happens with negotiations.
The first project, under the One Canadian Economy Act, aims to connect provinces through infrastructure, rail, energy, and technology. But beyond the technical details lies something deeper, a symbol of unity. Carney and Ford are showing that Canada's true power doesn't come from politics, but from its people. When leaders from opposite sides stand together to defend, build, and uplift, that's where real nation-building begins. And make no mistake, this is just the beginning. If this collaboration succeeds, it won't only reshape Canada's economy, it could redefine what it means to be Canadian.